Getting you set for week number 4 of the high school football season. The Walk-On Indians hosted West Delaware in week number 3, and the Hawks took care of business in Walk-On. Head coach Chad Beermann joining us. And what were your takeaways from last Friday night, Coach?
Well, it was kind of similar to the Decorah game. Defensively, we played fairly well early on, got some stops, but just could not generate any offense. Their uh, line movements and blitzes gave us a lot of problems, and we worked on them during the week, but just didn't pick them up. And so struggled offensively, and then went up 14-0. We did score right before half, and then it was 14-6 at halftime. Then second half again, we had negative rushing yards for the game, and I think we lost like 56 yards in sacks. So that was um, a big part of it. We did just a little bit negative on the rushing yards, and then had some success in the passing game. But again, the sacks that showed we struggled to protect. I think they had like 9 sacks or something like that. So um, just a frustrating night offensively, and then defensively, they kind of wore us down and had success. And what we were able to shut down in the first half, we were not able to control in the second half. And so there's a lot to build on from that. But I think, West Delaware will do well in 3A competition this year.
And was part of maybe the defense wearing down in the second half, the inability to just keep the consistency going on the offensive end, forcing the defense to maybe be on the field a little bit more than they wanted to be?
I'm sure that's some of it. I think the consensus is usually that defense is more exhausting than the offense. And even though we have a lot of the same kids, the fact that they have to be on the field playing defense, and when you're on offense, you can kind of control the tempo. And uh, when you're punting after, we have a 3-yard drive and a 6-yard drive, and then we're back out on defense again. So I think there's some of that, even though they're a lot of the same kids. When you're offense and you're grinding the clock, it's easier to stay a little fresher because you, again, can control the tempo.
And non-district play is now done. You start district play, and you're at the halfway point of the regular season beginning Friday night. In what areas have you seen the most growth from your team here in the first half of the season?
I thought we did a better job tackling. That's a work in progress. Like I said, we did get some stops. It wasn't like they were able to just run up and down the field, but we had a goal line situation. We did get a stop also, so that was an improvement. Offensively, we did a better job of completing passes, and we actually, in week 1, we threw some picks that we could have thrown away. Well, this week, we had a throwaway when we got out of the pocket and prevented a sack or loss there. So those are things we're making progress in, and I think, as we continue, we're young on the offensive line, a lot of those kids, and we'll continue to work on picking up the blitzes. But that's a concern for us. It's just picking up pressure.
And how long does it take for an offensive line to gel together as a cohesive unit?
Um, it kind of depends. We shuffled them a little bit too, so that shook up. We had one starter we replaced during the middle of the week, and we had another starter go down during the game, and so that was a big part of it too. But I just think, we talked about with the kids, but there's certain things that have to become automatic. Whether it's on offense when you see the backer step up, what's my next response, or on defense, this guy blocked down, what am I supposed to do? And those things aren't automatic for our kids just yet.
And district play does start tonight. Forest City makes the long trip to the east on Highway 9, about 2.5 hours in a bus, heading to your place. What are you expecting out of the Indians Friday night?
Well, they're a young team too. I mean, they got some sophomores and they're even playing some freshmen. There's not a curtain raiser, so there's no opening JV game. So, but they're a team that, they played Charles City relatively close. Charles City got up 3 scores on them, and they came back and ended up 19-15 was the final there. They played I think Clear Lake and Algona is their other two non-districts, and those are some pretty top level 3A schools, which they struggled with. And um, they've when they've scored, a lot of those have been big plays through the air, throwing the ball up and having the kid go up and get it. So it'll challenge our secondary. And again, you know, when you're worried about the passing game, one of the best things you can do is run the ball and kill the clock. And so it'll be a challenge for our offense to be able to do that.
All right. Hopefully, you can start district play in the right way, Coach. Keep your kids healthy. We wish best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Chad Beermann, head coach of the Walk On Indians. It's the Indians and the Indians Friday night in Walk On.